think so. No, we are not staying here.
We are working our way west through Michigan in the Upper Peninsula from that beautiful beachside Lake Superior boondocking site that we had last night. And tonight we'll be, hope with a little luck anyway, in a municipal campground. And we'll be there early because yesterday was a really long 4.5 hour drive. This one's going to be more like 2.5. And at this campsite, we'll be able to plug in to charge the battery because over the last few days it went down to about 50%. And the reviews on it say that the campground is pretty nice. And now as far as the battery is concerned, I have 202, yeah, it's an odd number, 202 amps of lithium LiFePO batteries. And a few hours and the battery should be charged. And we're just about at some point down the road here to cross a time zone. So we're going to go backwards an hour and gain an hour of the day. So here we are in the little town of Upson. We're at Upson Park. It's a little county park in Iron County in Wisconsin. We just went over the border from Michigan to Wisconsin, and we are parked right up there. Water, but I don't really trust that up here. And there is power. There's a cord. It's plugged in on the other side. There's a little pay box here. Only have to pay if you use electricity. If you use your own power, it's free, up to 7 days. Another campsite over here. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6, I think. And there's a gentleman who just came in and he's parked at this one. A nice guy. I got his story a little bit. To get rid of some trash really soon. We probably won't using the outside too much. There are some mosquitoes, not as bad as we've seen, but enough to make us not want to sit out here too much. And the most important thing, I needed to get the battery charged. Well, the evening is cooled off a little bit, but it's still nice and warm. So for the first time on this trip, I'm in my sandals. We're in our shorts and t-shirts. The last couple of nights we had the heater going. At this time. So we have, as you saw, we have simple ham sort of sandwiches. We have cucumbers, and I'm going to be getting out my hot peppers as soon as I'm done recording this. Joyce, hot peppers?
No, I know.
They're all mine,
Yeah.
which is good, I guess. Someone's going to say that. This morning, the battery is charged to 100%, and you can see the voltage is just slightly under 14 volts, which is common for lithium. The current that I'm currently using is just about 2 or 3 tenths of an amp. That's mostly the computer fan in the toilet, and George probably has a light on. The power is, taking this 4 watts, not that much. We haven't consumed any amp hours yet because we haven't started running the battery without the charger. And at this rate, the battery would last a little over 10 days. But when we start using the TV and other things, it really cuts it down to about 5. This is a graph that the battery charger makes. Basically what this means is that it charges it up to about 95%, which is good for lithium, under 100. And then it kind of floats it there and keeps it in storage so that it doesn't go much lower than that or much higher than that until we're ready to use it. Some people have been asking about my battery system, and it's a big battery unit. 202 amps of lithium, all self-contained, a really beautiful unit in a stainless steel case. And it connects with an Anderson connector to the side of the battery. So I can pull it out, put it in. As a matter of fact, I use it for trolling in my boat at home. It's a very, very nice unit. The equipment that I use to charge it and keep it charged is a Victron 15 amp battery charger. So it'll throw 15 amps of power back into the battery per hour. If we're at a campsite and we're plugged in overnight, that's way more than needed. And usually I've only used about half of the battery at the most. So just a few hours are needed in order to bring it back. I don't charge with my truck. I've disconnected that part of it for a good reason. One, we really don't need it to do that. We never seem to run out of juice. And when you do that with lithium, you either need to add a larger alternator, because if you don't, it can burn it out, or you need to add a charge controller, which is an added expense, and I could do it, but I don't need to, so there's no point in it. I could also use solar, except for the same reasons. I'd be adding this. It would be fun to do. I would enjoy it, but it's unnecessary. We just don't run out of power. We never have that problem.
Oh, no, you.
Yes, I turned the camera on, Joyce.
Yeah, I heard it.
Well, we've just gotten up, and it is 7:35 by our main time, but we just crossed over into a time zone yesterday. We're barely over the time zone, but it is 6:35 in the morning by this time zone's time. So we're still on the 7:30 sort of time. So we're having bagels this morning. I just made some coffee, as you saw. We have absolutely no cell service here, and so when we turn out of the road, we didn't even know whether to go left or right. We'll probably head west because that's the direction we're going, but sometimes you got to go like south before you pick up the west road or something. So we'll have to get out into civilization, stop, get our bearings, and figure out where we're going for tomorrow, or for today, where we're going to end up today.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out later.
Yeah.
We are headed in Wisconsin up the coast to a little area called Bayfield, which is a little touristy resort area. So it should be busy enough at this time of year to be interesting, but it's still early in the season, so maybe not too interesting. We were going to take the whole rig over on a ferry to Madeline Island and camp there, but you know, the prices were actually pretty reasonable, but between paying for the two people, the camper and the truck, you know, it was going to cost $150 to go camp on an island overnight. So we passed on that, but we are staying in a municipal campground in Bayfield, and it's first come, first serve. Right now there are 14 sites available. It's early. It's only about 11 o'clock in the morning, so it'd be a short traveling day for us, but we're hoping for the best as far as getting there. We're in Bayfield, Wisconsin, and it's a touristy little town. We're at a campsite, as you saw, and we're taking a little walk of Main Street to see what there is in this sort of out-of-season touristy time. We're sitting here in a little gazebo, Joyce and I, and in Bayfield, Wisconsin, and out there is Madeline Island, way out there. There's the ferry that we could have taken the truck and the camper over, but we would have gone over there just to go camping, and it would have been not an arm and a leg, but at least an arm and half a leg to get over there. So it would have added a total of about $150 to our trip for a little ride over to the island and a camping trip. So we decided to camp on the mainland instead. The Madeline Island is a bunch of a group of islands called the Apostle Islands that are pretty famous, as you can see. Very, very touristy, but kind of neat, just the same. There's a lot of sailboats. Reminds me of Kennebunkport, Camden at home. Same sort of thing. So we're gonna walk around here
Yep.
a little more, right, Joyce?
Yep. Right. Hi.
And
Yeah. We're gonna take.
and maybe have lunch here. I don't know. We'll try to find a little place. There's a ton of little restaurants. We went to a little knick-knack store and asked to go behind the counter to recommend a lunch and restaurant, which she said the Manny Penny Bistro. It was a little bit of a walk, but she said it would be worth it. And it is for a couple of reasons. One is that Joyce likes it. We didn't order anything too special. The chicken finger, the fries, and the price is good. It's kind of out of the way. I think this is probably, being a very touristy place, pretty expensive. So being out of the way, this is a little more reasonably priced. And Joyce found a pair of earrings too. We just turned off the main highway about 35 miles north, or west rather, of Grand Rapids. And we have a couple of miles to go down this dirt road until we come to some dispersed camping land in the Chippewa National Forest. So hopefully it's still there. Hopefully there's vacancy, and we'll let you know when we see it.
Oh God. I don't think so. No, we are not staying here.
Well, we finally settled into a place. It's only 2:30. What happened is we had a dispersed land in the Chippewa National Forest in Minnesota. And we found the road, we went down to it, and there were some campsites, in a loop down there that we were just planning on parking at and staying at overnight. But I opened up the door, turned around, looked down the back side of the truck into the camper, and there was a cloud of mosquitoes. I'm not talking just a few here and there. It was a cloud. There's no way of counting them, but there must have been 50 to 100 just in my field of view looking down the side of the truck. And I thought, oh God, I can't deal with this. So I quickly got back on the truck, bringing three or four mosquitoes with me. And I looked and looked and looked, and there's really not a whole lot. And there's, I said, let's do a motel. We haven't done one. And I looked, and there's a lot of resort areas because this is a big hunting and fishing area. So you can rent a cabin for a couple $100. But there were no motels. I would have to go back 50 miles to Grand Rapids to find a motel. And I wasn't going to do that, not going backwards. So we started going up the road, and I told Joyce, I said, this may take a while, but we'll find something. In about a mile or 2 miles up the road, and I see Winnie Dam. And then I see a thing that says Winnie Dam Campground next right, which wasn't even on the map. So I turned down, and this is a really, really nice campground near the dam, I guess, Winnie Dam. And it's beautifully manicured in the Chippewa National Forest. And you have to go online to reserve. Even though it's a camp host, you just have to go online and reserve. There's no tag to put in your windshield or anything. You just get confirmation. And after everything, I was billed $24. So this is really, really nice. Really nice. There's not a mosquito in sight either. So I just took a shower at this wonderful campground, and let me show you the private shower enclosures. There are two of them, maybe a 2-minute walk max from any of the campsites. Take a look. You walk in, there's this sink, shower, plenty of place to put my junk, and here's the shower. There are 2 push buttons for an upper and lower nozzle. They last about 1 minute each, but you just push it again and it starts. And the water is hot, but not too hot. It's you can't adjust it, but it's plenty hot. But like I do it at home, so, and it started being hot right away. So very nice, very nice. Winnie, damn, I am impressed.
Good morning, everybody.
Waiting for her to say something first. Okay.
Yeah.
We're in this really, really nice campground. Everything was right about it. Showers,
Yes.
the location, the site, the price.
Yeah, it was.
Everything was great, but it is time to move on. We are travel campers. We don't just camp to camp. We camp to see new places and see where we can go. So we have our coffee and our bagel and what's left of the grapes we bought the other day, and then we're going to pack up and we're going to head out.
Yeah.
I'm glad we did this one instead of that boondocking site, because we would have.
We would
There were
have.
cloud mosquitoes outside, but a dozen of them would have made it in for the evening
Oh yeah.
with the door
we did.
opening and closing for sure.
Yeah.
That was bad.
Oh, it was so bad.
In the next episode, we move further west towards Fargo, North Dakota, and stop just shy of that at another nice campsite. And we encounter our first gasoline that is under $4 a gallon.